Hello, my name is Paul Doherty. I'm an architect, builder, and a real estate developer with TDG, the Digit Group. The idea of indoor air quality and its importance in buildings is really about improving and continually improving the value of the actual real estate itself, be it a residence, be it a commercial building, be it an industrial building. The reason why is because we as humans spend an inordinate amount of time inside of buildings. We actually look at buildings in our firm as one of the three pillars of human existence. One of those would be, of course, food, water, and shelter. So we have a noble cause, right? And when we have things that move within a building, be it people, be it air, like through mechanical systems, be it water, and be it power, and now also IT with data, which is really interesting. These are the things that are that make up a very interesting discourse on how to start to evaluate, how do we start to improve the human condition when outside is something that we will always work on, but how do we improve the human condition that could be transparent to people, which is the real idea behind indoor air quality. It's usually invisible until it becomes a problem. It's either too hot, it's too cold, but more importantly, maybe you start sneezing. Maybe there's some allergens, irritants inside of these systems that make up these conditioned spaces that we have all over the world. It could actually get very deadly as well. This idea back in 30, 40 years ago that we're still fighting is when you do not take care of your mechanical systems, which affects indoor air quality, can lead to things like Legionnaire's disease, where the contaminants within the confines of blowing air are then met up with pools of water that can have disease, and then the air blows that disease throughout the building. So poor ventilation, that type of thing can also lead to not a well-being, but an unwell-being type of environment. So this is called sick building syndrome, and it really has started to be highlighted over the past 3 years because of our recent pandemic with COVID, where we have scientific proof through the National Institute of Building Sciences and other groups that took care to start to find out what happens when you're in a restaurant and air is blowing in a certain direction, where the COVID disease needed to be thrown through the air and then land on the surface, also on humans, and that's how you contracted it. What their studies were very interesting in saying that there were certain people in that restaurant that didn't get infected at all, but others were in direct line. So the mechanical systems, how ventilation is pointed, all of those things come into play into indoor air quality. Also this idea of taking the air in the big air handling unit, either out back of the facility or maybe inside of your house, that actually then takes that air and stores it. And then as you either need a conditioned air, either hot or cold, it blows that air through. There's lots of great innovations that are being used, everything from ionization to actual molecular zapping inside of that house of air. But we're also starting to see it on the exit of that air through the actual vents themselves. That can be the innovations that we're exploring are the ones that actually almost have like this invisible electronic netting that can take certain contaminants and viruses and neutralize them before they actually get into the conditioned room. This also has a lot to do with understanding that indoor air quality can be used not to scare people, like, you can get sick in here, like sick building syndromes, but promoted as a safe building. With the use of technologies that we're seeing starting to emerge in the same way that some buildings are sustainable and green and they have a big plaque up in the lobby. We're also taking a look at this for the world of having real-time monitors, right, to allow occupants to feel safe, that they have confidence that their indoor air quality is good. So that means in lobbies, we're looking at certain types of screens inside of elevators. That's the type of communication that's needed to ensure that your building is not just perceived as safe, but you can actually show measurements, where the pollutants are down, the irritants are down, the allergens are down, and they're consistently down. I believe this is going to help with the back to work program, where people don't feel safe, right? Still, Working from home is easy, and there's a lot of folks out there, certain industries, certain groups like real estate developers, real estate managers, that are nervous because a lot of people are not using the amount of square footage that their companies have allotted, and now the companies are going, "Why are we paying for all this space?" Which then has indoor air quality now has a big to do to say, no, we're okay. Because otherwise we're looking at downtown areas and dense urban environments of being in a very precarious situation, having to deal with the real estate value. Meaning that if you're not selling as much real estate, or companies are shrinking the amount of space they need because people are not in there Monday through Friday, look at the knock-on effect of all the people that go out to lunch, out to dinner, drinks after work, that type of thing, that are shuttering. So this is a big deal with indoor air quality. It's a knock-on effect. We're fond of saying that, we have the need and the responsibility to start to see that everything is connected to everything, to steal the phrase from Leonardo da Vinci, that has never been more true today. And we can now start to see that indoor air quality isn't just about, does your house smell nice or is my work safe? It's the knock-on effect. It should be a priority and be on everyone's, discussion points that own or operate or live in a building.